The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is brought to you by Big D's Tack and Vet Supply, Cool Winds Farm, Midland Acres, the Ohio State University Veterinary Medical Center, and thestable.ca. Now let's go trackside for all the action.
Hello everybody, this is Austin Scott. Beside me is Tom Pye, the harness guy, and we are now coming to you live from the Henry County Fairgrounds in Napoleon. And we apologize if you're joining us late. We are on tape delay for races 1 through 4 here, and now we're going to be going live with you guys for race number 5. So if you are joining us here on the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association YouTube network, we will give you a quick rundown of races 1 through 4 here from Napoleon. So race 1 was the 3-year-old filly trot with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference, and it was the first of 2 divisions for them, going for a purse of $4,968. The horses in the race were the 1, Cinder Addy, and Chuck Taylor driving. The 2, Sweet Emmy Lou, Ron Steck drove. The 3 was Buckeye Jess for John Koneski III. The 4 was Irish Princess for BJ Roberts, and the 5 was Hot Choco Latte for Scott Bateson. And it ended up being the 4, Irish Princess and BJ Roberts for trainer Chris Beaver, picking up the victory with a winning time of 2:03 and 3. Second went to the 1, Cinder Addy and Chuck Taylor. Third went to the 3, Buckeye Jess and John Koneski III. Fourth went to the 5, Hot Choco Latte and Scott Bateson. And rounding out the field, 5th was the 2, Sweet Emmy Lou. So again, race number 1, the 3-year-old filly trotters here in Napoleon. The winner was Irish Princess. 2nd, Cinder Addy. 3rd, Buckeye Jess. 4th, Hot Choco, Sweet Emmy Lou, and a time of 2:03 and 3. Race number 2 here at Napoleon was the 2-year-old filly Pacers with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. Division 1 of 2, going for a purse of $5,298. And the fillies in the race were the 1, Black Tilly for Krista Harmon and Don Harmon. The 2 was Full Rockin' Lady for Steve Novak and driver Kim Pluta. 3 was Better Race for Derek Flowers, Terry Skinner the driver. The 4 was Rockin' Sage for Kevin Slayball, and Pierce Henry was in the bike. The 5 was Fear the Rockette for trainer Ron Steck, and Jason Merriman had the lines. And in the second tier, the 6 was de Havilland for trainer driver Greg Bateson. Ended up being the 1, Black Tilly and Don Harmon, taking them gate to wire in 2:04 and 2. So Black Tilly, your winner of race number 2, the 2-year-old filly Pacers. Second was the 2, Full Rockin' Lady and Kim Pluta. Third was the 4, Rockin' Sage. Fourth was the 3, Better Race and Terry Skinner. 5th was the 6, de Havilland. And rounding out the field, 6th was the 5, Fear the Rockette. So in race 2, Black Tilly, Full Rockin' Lady, Rockin' Sage, Better Race, de Havilland, and Fear the Rockette your field. And again, it was Black Tilly winning in a time of 2:04 and 2 for Krista and Don Harmon. Race number 3 was the 2-year-old Colt Pacers, and the first of 2 divisions for them, going for a purse of $5,418. In that field, the 1 was Cobra Kai Johnny for Ty Bates, who trained and drove. The 2 was Drackle Dragon for Phil Peden, trainer driver. The 3 was Red Vintage for Jane Weller and driver Jay Cross. The 4 was Our Holy Terror for trainer Bill Webb and Jason Merriman in the bike. Rounding out the field was the 5, Ain't Easy Being Me for Mike Sweeney, and Pierce Henry, was the driver. And it ended up being the 5, Ain't Easy Being Me, that took race 3 in a time of 2:05 and 2 for Pierce Henry and Mike Sweeney. Second was the 4, Our Holy Terror for Jason Merriman. Third was the 2, Drackle Dragon. Fourth was the 3, Red Vintage. Rounding out the field, 5th was the 1, Cobra Kai Johnny and Tyler Bates. So again, it was Ain't Easy Being Me taking race 3 for the 2-year-old Colt Pacers in 2:05 and 2. And the last race we will recap before you start joining us live for the rest of the card. Race 4 was for the 3-year-old Colt Trotters, the first of 2 divisions here. Again, all these races with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference and stakes action. $4,818 of the purse. We had a 4-horse field of 3-year-old Colt Trotters in race 4. The 1 was Harwell for trainer Greg West and Jason Merriman drove. The 2 was Tango With Me, trained by Chris Beaver, driven by BJ Roberts. The 3 was Stormy Wings, trained by Tony Langhan and Don Harmon drove. And the 4 was Best Value for trainer Norman Robbins and driver Pierce Henry. And it was the 2, Tango With Me, trained by Chris Beaver and BJ Roberts, that took them gate to wire in a time of 2:06 for the victory. Second was the 4, Best Value for Pierce Henry. Third was Stormy Wings for Don Harmon. And fourth was the 1, Harwell for Jason Merriman. So again, race number 4 is won by Tango With Me for Chris Beaver and BJ Roberts and a time of 2:06. So now you guys are officially all caught up with the first 4 races of action here at Napoleon as part of the Henry County Fair, and we'll be bringing you the last 7 live. So again, after that very long-winded recap, I'm Austin Scott. Beside me is Tom Pye, the harness guy, and Tom will have his thoughts here after the post-parade of the 4th here in Napoleon.
This is the 5th, this 3-year-old filly trot. This is the 2nd division. It's going for 4,000.
Christy Walker of Swanton with Duke, the Halflinger pony, are going to be parading the horses postward here in race 5. This is the 2nd division of the 3-year-old filly trot, going for a purse of $4,968 and a blanket courtesy of Howard's Friendly Service, LLC. Number 1 is Trottin' Brooklyn, owned by Gary Golan of Molena, trained and driven by Jay Cross. Number 2 is Jiffy Bug, owned, trained and driven by Tom Moore Jr. of Napoleon. Number 3 is Game On Girls, owned by Sean McGee of Swanton, trained by Ty Bates, the driver Pierce Henry. Number 4 is Tulsa Bell, owned by the Brookside Stables of Grayville, Indiana, trained by Eric Jake Jr., the driver Mike Wolf. Number 5 is Chip It In, owned by Chris Beaver of Radnor, Dave Miola of Powell, Ohio, Don Robinson of Cardington, and RBH Ventures Incorporated of New York City, trained by Chris Beaver, the driver BJ Roberts. Horses will take 1 long score and go to the gate. Mutual windows closing in 4 minutes. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering here in race 5.
And in this 5th race,
Against the Barnes, you plan to warm up after race 5. Have your horse ready to come on the track when the horses of this race are going off. Getting your horses ready for race 6.
We've got 3 solid, 1 and 2 are just basically, they haven't won. And 2 at Northfield in the slot, Tulsa Bell has 31 starts, 2 wins, 7 seconds, 6 thirds, 24,000. Now those 2 were Game On Girls, a 6,000 purchase of Buckeye Classic. Tulsa Bell, 5,500. They've already earned the key and then some. But the one who does pop out of the page, especially 2021, is Chip It In. Chris Beaver, trainee for himself, and D.E. Robinson, Cardington, RBH Event, and Aiden Yoler at Powell. BJ Roberts looks like he can pick up win number 3 today. Because this filly, 3-year-old filly, has 6 wins, 1 second and 3 thirds in 16 2021 starts. Mark 155 and 1 at Cy Ota.
And you can see also dropping in from some Buckeye Stallion Series action as well as Ohio State Fair Stakes action. So again, down in class here today also could be a good formula for BJ Roberts and Chris Beaver to pick up that triple just 5 races into the card.
That's the that's what Chris Beaver is a good what would you call it, tactic man, because he places his horses where they're got the best chance to win,
Driver
whether it
has
be a
called the
fair
drivers
or
in.
but he
Trotton
knows
Brooklyn,
where to
Jiffy
put him.
Bug, Game
You have
On Girls,
a horse like this already got
Tulsa Bell, and Chip In.
67,000 on
Here they
a
come.
card. We'll soon see. The 5th from Napoleon.
The year off and trotting, that's Game On Girls and Tulsa Bell battling for the lead along with Chip It In. Moving up fourth is Trotton Brooklyn, and the last horse is Jiffy Bug. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Pierce Henry has Game On Girls on top by 2 lengths. Trotting second is Tulsa Bell, driven by Mike Wolf. And their third is Chip It In, driven by B.J. Roberts. Moving up fourth is Trotton Brooklyn, driven by Jay Cross. The last horse, Jiffy Bug, driven by Tom Moore Jr. Past that quarter-mile mark, it is still Game On Girls with the lead by a length and a half. First quarter trotted in 32 seconds. That is Game On Girls by a length and a half over Tulsa Bell. Chip It In is in their third. Trotton Brooklyn right there fourth, and now closing in fifth is Jiffy Bug. 5 fillies pretty well bunched now as they race down toward the half-mile mark. That is Game On Girls with the lead. In the golden chair second, coming down to the half, that's Tulsa Bell. Now up on the outside comes Chip It In. Chip It In now takes over as they race past the half-mile mark. That's Chip It In with the lead. Game On Girls second, Tulsa Bell third, with Trotton Brooklyn on the outside fourth. First half trotted in 105 as they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Chip It In. The closest horse second is Game On Girls. Along the rail third is Tulsa Bell. On the outside fourth is Trotton Brooklyn, and now Trotton Brooklyn goes off stride. Going to that 3/4 mile mark. That is Chip It In by 3 lengths. In their second is Game On Girls. Tulsa Bell is third. Jiffy Bug is now fourth. The last horse, Trotton Brooklyn. 3 quarters in 135 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Chip It In with the lead, but Game On Girls is closing with every stride. Chip It In and Game On Girls. Tulsa Bell trying to hold on for show position as they race toward home. That's Chip It In and Game On Girls. Chip It In and Game On Girls. It's gonna be Chip It In, and here they'll come. Game On Girls up for place, up for show is Tulsa Bell. Mile in 2:04 and 2/5.
Oh, Austin Scott with the last half in 59 and 2. Last quarter 29 and 2. Chip It In. Cashed or chips in.
I thought that sounded familiar because in race number 1, B.J. Roberts and Chris Beaver teamed up with Irish Princess to go a back half in 59 and 2 for the win there. So pretty well done. And again, BJ kind of floated Chip It In out there, an unhurried third, took a seat there early, and coming to the half made a big charge to the front and never looked back after that. So again, just really classy horses that Chris will bring out here to where they can sit third through a really slow half and then just hit the go button on the back half, and say goodbye. So pretty nice when you don't have to, absolutely sprint your horse to the front to win. They can do it from off the pace a little ways.
And I won't say they were crawling to the first quarter, but he had to back her off because she was just climbing over the horse in front of her. And 7 wins in 17 starts this year adds another 25, close to 2,500 to a 40,000. That's a nice filly. Again, Ohio select sale, $17,000 has made her money last year back, and this is starting to get old gravy.
Moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Radnor, Powell, and Cardington, Ohio, and New York City comes number 5, Chip It In. All by Chris Beaver, Dave Miola, Don Robinson, and the RBH Ventures Incorporated, trained by Chris Beaver, and driven to victory by B.J. Roberts. And I think his tire prints are still there from the last race. Wagon for this race is courtesy of Howard's Friendly Service, LLC. Let's really head here for B.J. Roberts and Chip It In, and the Howard's Friendly Service, the donors of the blanket.
We are on OHH, YouTube. We're not on Facebook.
There are the official placings for race 5 from the top. Number 1, Trotton Brooklyn was 4th. Number 2, Jiffy Bug was 5th. Number 3, Game On Girls was 2nd. Number 4, Tulsa Bell was 3rd. And number 5, Chip It In was the winner. Time of the first quarter was 32 seconds. The half was in 1:05. The 3/4 in 1:35. Well, a mile in 2:04 and 2 fifths. From the top it should read 4, 5, 2, 3, 1 on the bottom. A mile in 2:04 and 2 fifths.
And actually,
And the
it
upcoming
looks like
race
Chris
6,
Bieber and
number
BJ
2,
Roberts are going to let some other people have some fun. That was the last race they were entered in today.
Oh, wow.
So come here and grab a triple in 5 races, and now they're going to duck out and head back southeast here. But again, a pretty impressive outing they put together, 3 for 5 here, and won all 3 of the races that they were entered in here. So pretty high percentage. And again, you were talking about that UDRS for BJ and the training average for Chris. They're on the rise here after 5 races today.
When the Henry County Agricultural Society was formed in 1852, much of the land was still heavily timbered and uncultivated. The county is located in the northwestern part of the state in what used to be the Great Black Swamp. After the swamp was drained, it became some of the most fertile land in the United States. The first Henry County Fair was held in October of 1853 as a celebration of harvest. The 2-day event was hosted in an open field just outside of Napoleon, Ohio. The fair grew steadily, and by 1884, the grounds were complete with barns, a judge's stand, and a racetrack. The best crop and livestock around continue to be exhibited here. Farming remains the largest employer in Henry County, with 91% of the county as farm fields. The area is also Ohio's 3rd largest producers of wheat. Today, the Henry County Fair is a member of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference and hosts 2 days of live-action harness racing.
The roots of harness racing are born at the county fairs. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the thrills this summer at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 21 fairs in 19 Ohio counties. Trotters and pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio wants to thank all the breeders that supported our first season standing the trotter, Muscle Diamond. Cool Winds also welcomed the proven sire, Mr. Apples, to our stallion barn. Randy and Kim Haynes also stand the only full brother to some beach somewhere, Bring On the Beach, sire of Heart of Chewbacca. Visit the Cool Winds consignment at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway Ag Center on Friday, September 17th.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Bow River Jewelry has been the premier designers of sulky jewelry for more than 30 years. We incorporate today's fashion designs to create a unique piece of jewelry only found at Bow River. Visit bowriverjewelry.com today.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm with 500 acres of pasture for breeding to boarding and on-site veterinarian care, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Visit us September 17th at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds and get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Pet Rock, and Long Tom. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Austin Scott. Beside me is Tom Pye, the harness guy. And again, we're coming to you live from the Henry County Fairgrounds in Napoleon, Ohio. And we want to thank you for joining us tonight. We apologize, races 1 through 4 were not live broadcasted, but don't you worry. Here in the next day or so, if you go to www.trotandpaceracing.com, again, that's www.trotandpaceracing.com. You can watch replays of the first 4 races here today at Napoleon, as well as all of the fair races this year, as well as a ton from 2020 and going all the way back to 2017. So I've been using the website quite frequently to do some post position stats for a lot of the fairs I've been going to, as well as kind of following some racing trends as far as how successful the front end is, how often the favorites win in the races and stuff like that. It's a wealth of knowledge and some cool racing history on there. So again, that's trotandpaceracing.com. You can catch the replays of races 1 through 4 here at Napoleon today, as well as the Napoleon Fair from really about the last 4 years, I believe, of replays are on there.
Some good racing. Now, there's a question. What is the winningest post position so far that you...
Yeah, it honestly depends on track. It's been interesting to follow because a couple of tracks, you know, it's a half-mile fair track, so common sense would tell you post 1 ought to be pretty successful. But you look at some tracks like at Wapak, the most successful post positions at Wapak are 4 and 5. As far as I track the winning percentage, as well as, you know, how many times they're in the money as far as win, place, and show and stuff like that. At Wapak, post positions, that's at Sydney. I apologize. At Sydney, 4 and 5 are actually the most successful. And talking to some drivers, they said with the way the surface is at Sydney plays a difference in that. So lower on the track, usually post positions 1 and 2, there's not as much grip coming down the stretch as there is out 3, 4, 5. So 4 and 5 are more successful there. And then at Wapak, where the bottom of the track has a little more grip, it's a little more, they just get a better hold of it. Post positions 2 and 1 at Wapak are the best in terms of winning percentage and then overall percentage in the money.
Yeah, see, and as again you said, each track is so different, and that is why when you have your home advantage, you know your track, you know coming off the last turn, the track will be a little deep up there, or whether to go wide, and that's all part of fair racing. It's great. A lot of thought goes into things. It's not just aiming the horse down and go for all you can go. You have to. Some of these new drivers are starting to pick up good habits. They're rating horses good, and they'll like to carry a horse out, and they'll back into them. They're doing that's the great things about fair racing. And on a half-mile track.
And another stat I told you I tracked was how successful the front end was, and I've done the stats for probably somewhere between 12 to 15 fairs so far, still working on it every couple of days, but about 60% of the time, if you make the lead by the quarter, you go on to win the race. So if that just shows how important the front end is in modern racing, not just at the fairs, but everywhere. But at the fairs, 60% of winners are people leading at the quarter go on to be winners. So here's the post parade at the 6.
Race 6. This is the second division of the 2-year-old filly pace. Going for a purse of $5,198 and a blanket courtesy of the Moose Lodge of Napoleon. Number 1 is Art Speech, owned by Jerry Migel of Westland, Michigan, trained by Steve Novak, the driver Kim Pluta. Number 2 is She's Back in Black, Home of the Here's to a Stable of Millersport, Ohio, and Amanda Allender of Westerville, Ohio, trained by Ron Stack, the driver Pierce Henry. Number 3 is Don't Go Bacon My Heart. Owned by Randy Forker of Paulding, trained by Bruce Forker. The driver is Chuck Taylor. Number 4 is Heart to Handle. Owned by Eugene Schraubin of Portland, Michigan, trained and driven by Marvin Kraft. And number 5 is Disney Springs. Owned by Henry Trimble of Byram, Mississippi, trained and driven by Derek Flowers. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate. Mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering here in race 6.
And just going, here's a good example with number 5, Disney Springs at Attica. The
Jackson
track
Barnes, you plan to warm up after race
10 o'clock
6.
in the morning, 10:30 in the morning, had a foot and a half of water on it.
Oh, my goodness.
And they had a pump, and they got it out pretty good, got it dry pretty good, except right in front of the grandstand, the finish, the start and the finish. They had a score in the 2-horse spot to start, but it was still wet right about 30 feet from the start. Disney Springs got into a deep spot and made a break, and she was would have been the favorite, odds-on favorite there, coming off her mile in 56 and 4. But again, that was a good. At the end of the day, amazingly, on the backstretch that had 2 feet of water, there was dust coming off the track.
Wow!
And because the track crew did a great job. Courtney Stockmaster was a host and our speed superintendent, and all the volunteers. It was nice. Attica's a nice little fair, and they also have the best press box and all air conditioning. Of course, the team, Tim and I were out in the sun, but all the judges and the announcer, they're all.
You had
in
a
that
nice view of the press box. I thought you were in the press box.
No, it was.
You just had a nice view of it.
Nice view, but yeah, it was they were in there and they were just smiling. I'm surprised they didn't have a nice ice cold glass of water just toasted me.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Well, here I am. I was jealous for a second. I thought you and Tim were chilling in the air conditioning at Attica here, and you guys just had a good view of everybody else standing in the air. So, but yeah, they did a good job of getting the track back. And it sounded just like we were talking about Disney Springs going on a break there at the start. A couple other horses watching back to the replays were affected by stuff like that too. Or there was just one wet patch on the front stretch there, probably, I don't know, maybe 30, 50 feet from the starting line, that spooked some horses that started jumping those as well. I think they were just in the shade to where the sun wasn't able to naturally dry them out or something to that effect. And that, including, I think it was Sophie's Candy for Pierce Henry and trainer Robbie Brooks, that they did some puddle jumping there of some of the water strips. So, but again, they ran those off like qualifiers, basically, about the way to describe it, right?
We did, with cooperation with the horsemen, and they said we're going to score it once, just come down, we're going to go by the thing, go right to the gate. There was no betting there, so there was no. During betting, you have to have a minimum number of minutes between races.
The post starting gate is rolling now.
Ran them out, and we were just a good job overall.
Yeah,
and
it was about 10 minutes or less, I think, between most of the races that I was checking. Maybe even quicker than that in some cases.
We have Arts Beach. I'm going to have to go with Disney Springs. She's going to redeem herself this one, and she's got the fire outside here.
I think Derek will probably be pretty aggressive with her here if he can, and try to get her on the lead as soon as possible. So this is a filly. I was curious how she would transition from that mile of Hawthorne to some of these half-mile fair tracks in Ohio.
They come.
She's done very well, and we'll see how she does in this 5 filly field of race 6.
They're off and pacing. That's Arts Beach going out after the lead, along with Heart to Handle. Moving up third along the rail is Don't Go Bacon My Heart. Off stride fourth is Disney Springs. Now taking over fourth, that is She's Back in Black. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Kim Pluta has Arts Beach on top by a length and a half. Pacing second is Heart to Handle, driven by Marvin Kraft. And their third, that is Don't Go Bacon My Heart, driven by Chuck Taylor. Flying up fourth now comes She's Back in Black, driven by Pierce Henry. And farther back fifth is Disney Springs, driven by Derek Flowers. First quarter pace in 31 3/5 seconds. That's Art Speech answering the call, though, and pacing right on. And on the outside second, on the outside second is G's Back in Black. Along the rail third, Heart to Handle. In their fourth is Don't Go Bacon My Heart. And the last horse, Disney Springs. As they race down toward the half-mile mark, that is still Art Speech with the lead. Art to Handle in their second. In their third is She's Back in Black. And up on the outside fourth now comes Don't Go Bacon My Heart. First half pace in 103 as they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. They've got to catch Art Speech. On the outside second is She's Back in Black along the rail third. Now taking over second is Heart to Handle, and back to third is She's Back in Black. And 3 wide down the backside and pacing fast as the ball is Don't Go Bacon My Heart. Going to the 3/4 mile mark. That's Art Speech along the rail. On the outside second is Don't Go Bacon My Heart. Art Speech still has the lead. Don't Go Bacon My Heart on the outside second. 3 quarters in 136 1/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still Art Speech with the lead. On the outside second, Don't Go Bacon My Heart along the rail third, Heart to Handle. She's Back in Black is fourth, and Disney Springs trails as they race toward home. That's Art Speech with still with the lead. Heart to Handle along the rail second, Don't Go Bacon My Heart on the outside second. But past the stands, it's gonna be Art Speech, and here the outcome. Heart to Handle up for place, up for show is Disney Springs. A mile in 2:07 1/5.
So Arts Beach fights off and takes on all comers and turns them aside and goes gate to wire for the victory, but it was anything but easy out there, Tom.
Tell you, they were at 'em and going and getting them. I'll tell you, the Go Bacon My Heart with She's Back in Black made a valiant effort going down the backside, or going past the quarter, and they only went a quarter 31 2, but that panel made them take back a seat. You know, that panel, they went a mile in 2:07 1. Yeah, it was your money's worth for 2:07 and you show betters on Disney Springs, even though I put a curse on, or put a jinx on it. She just, again, she's coming off 3 straight wins, including a mark of 56 4. Made another sprung a spring again, but she finished third. Looked like to me 1:45 mile in 2:07 1.
You know, as often as you and I hype some of these horses up and stuff, people would think that we work for the house here as far as betting goes.
Yeah.
And trying to make sure the house wins or something. We put the jinx on everybody, Tom. I feel bad when I do that.
I'll tell you the one good thing, if you put the handle up,
and now moving down
it's
the
good
track
for the fair.
to the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Westland, Michigan, comes number 1, Art Speech. Owned by Jerry Meigel, trained by Steve Novak, and driven to victory this evening by Kim Pluta.
That's a lifetime mark for the filly by Big Wrist. Not a For the Glory, not Major Mare.
Mutuals is 145 unofficial. 145 unofficial.
They're going to be looking at
The blanket for this race is courtesy of Moose Lodge of Napoleon.
She had Art Speech. Had been 2 wins and 3/3. That's 5 times on the board.
That's really
in 6
hard
starts.
for Jerry Meigel, Kim Pluta, and Art Speech, and the Moose Lodge of Napoleon, the donors of the blanket.
Big risk. So it's unofficial 145. The 1 went off at 6 to 1, I believe.
Mutuals, it's 145 official now. 145 official.
And that was, I think you maybe mentioned it in there, Tom. I apologize. I was making some notes, but that was a good recovery for the 5 Disney Springs after the gate break. And I yelled at you heading to 3/4. She was probably about 6-7 off the lead. And I said, she's not out of this yet. So nearly, I thought she was going to be able to circle the field. Again, it wasn't a very quick pace that she would be able to capitalize on.
Number 2, She's Back in Black, was 5th. Number 3, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, was 4th. Number 4, Heart to Handle, was 2nd. Number 5, Disney Springs, was 3rd. Time of the first quarter was 31 3/5. The half was in 1:03. The 3/4 in 1:36 1/5. With a mile in 2:07 1/5. From the top, it should read 1:54.23 on the bottom. The mile in 2:07 1/5. First lifetime win for Arts Beach. In the upcoming race
But again,
7,
yeah, there wasn't a fast pace there in race 6, but there was just so much movement up top, and a lot of horses starting to tire there having the 3/4. I thought Disney Springs might be able to get up, but still a good 3rd place finish and a great recovery after being really about half a stretch back there after the break. So made up a lot of ground there in the back half.
Yep. The 7th, this is a 2-year-old colt pace. This is the 2nd division. This looks like it's going to be a good match race. Here's if you remember, Hard Stack winning up in Oak Harbor, 2 minutes and 4/5 for Don Harmon. This looks like it's going to be a good race. We have 5, and we shall return for the 7th here at Napoleon, Ohio, and the Henry County Fair after a few short messages from our sponsors.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigDWeb.com. Most orders ship that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is a full-service standardbred breeding facility that specializes in stallion management. Cool Winds Farm stands the popular Dancing Yankee, whose first crop hit the ground this year and are great-looking individuals. Cool Winds is also standing Rockin' Amadeus, sire of world champion Ocean Rock. Be sure to inspect the Cool Winds yearlings at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway on September 17th.
Be sure to catch the new podcast, The Top of the Stretch, presented by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. The podcast keeps fans of racing in the Buckeye State up to date on various topics concerning the sport of harness racing. The news and views of top officials, owners, trainers, drivers, and breeders in Ohio. That's the all-new podcast, Top of the Stretch, on the Facebook page of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Be there!
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Hey everyone, if you like horses, you'll love our podcast called Horsing Around. I'm Michelle Gatchell.
And I'm Kelly Bell. And we talk to horse breeders, trainers, and owners about something we all have in common: horses.
We have as much fun learning about horses as we hope you do listening to the people telling us their stories.
Listen Saturday mornings on WDLRradio.com.
Horsing Around is sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.
Selling your horse? Sell for free. No fees, no commissions. The only free auction site in the industry. There's no problem selling your horse at harnesshorseauction.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back again to the Henry County Fairgrounds in Napoleon. Austin Scott and Tom Pye, the harness guy, coming to you guys live on the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association YouTube network. Appreciate you joining us, along with our friends from Trot and Pace Marketing and Racing that are helping bring you all the action today. Again, we could not bring you races 1 through 4 live, but you can go back and watch replays of them in the coming days at www.trotandpaceracing.com. Again, that's trotandpaceracing.com. Here in a couple of days, when the crew gets everything uploaded, you can watch replays of races 1 through 4 here in Napoleon tonight. And as Tom Pye and I were talking about a couple of races ago, you can actually go back and watch every single fair we've covered, replays of every single fair race we've covered this year in Ohio, as well as they've reached out and started doing Michigan fair races as well. So even if you're a fan tuning in from Michigan, you can watch some of your local fairs on trotandpaceracing.com. Just go through their racing calendar on there. Again, they have races uploaded all the way back to 2017 on there. So maybe you can find a horse that you owned, trained, drove, groomed in years past, and you can watch replays of them.
Yes. All you have to do is type in the horse's name.
Yeah. It's that. Yeah. Once you go to trotandpaceracing.com, click on the racing picture, top left of your screen, and then there's a search bar at the top. And like Tom Pye said, you can type your horse's name in there. It'll show you results of every race that Trot and Pace has been at that they were in, and then also include a video replay of those races as well if they were there that day covering. So again, it's an amazing database that Trot and Pace has at trotandpaceracing.com.
Yes, it is. And one of the things that's good to have is, like, if you're talking about a horse, I just got beat, I was parked the whole mile, I just got beat, and they say, oh, yeah. And so you say, well, come and watch the video.
Fact check them.
Fact checked it, yes.
That's good. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool database, again, to check out. And a lot of times I'll use it again for researching for statistical purposes, or if I just want to see maybe what happened to a horse in its last start, because you know, a lot of times you look at the program, take our last race, race 6, for example, Disney Springs. You see that program and you see a break at the gate. She finishes, dead last and distanced. And, to you it might be, oh, the horse acted up or something like that. Or again, the program just doesn't tell the story, but you go back and watch that replay, like you were pointing out, the track was really deep, still really wet, a foot of water on the track, and in the video you can see, hey, the track just wasn't in the best shape. They still got the racing in, but just had to deal with Mother Nature. And again, you can see all that on trotandpaceracing.com and get the full story on these races.
One of the other things, if you want to look up a horse too, statistics as career-wise or anything like that, one of the great search they have is on the USTA Pathway. And you become a member, you become an associate member and join Pathway. Now, I had to use Pathway earlier tonight. We won't see, I don't believe we'll see it. We do have the Signature Series Trot coming up. This will be interesting. That is our 9th race. In Pathway, looking at the trot track records, is held by a trot overall record, Simply a Mission, back in 2018, 2 minutes and 3/5, which is not a fast track record for a trotter. Usually they're 59, 58. The pace track record is Tatler's Jet, which was set back in 2005 of 156-4. Again, we might see a new track record here with the trots. These are paces coming up now.
This is the second division of the 2-year-old colt pace. Going for a purse of $5,418 and a blanket courtesy of Shears. That's Kathy Oberhaus of Napoleon. Number 1 is Gerald Jett, owned by Jerry Meigel of Westland, Michigan, trained by Steve Novak, the driver Kim Pluto. Number 2 is Heartstack, owned by Eugene Schraben of Portland, Michigan, trained by Marvin Kraft, the driver Don Harmon. Number 3 is Surfin' the Canyon, owned by D&K Stables, LLC of Hicksville, trained by Bill Webb, the driver Jason Merriman. Number 4 is Romeo Jack, owned by Charles Mooney of Avon Lake, Ohio, trained by Jeannie Weller, the driver Jay Cross. Number 5 is Seaside Art, owned by the Here's Tua Stable, Millersport, Ohio, trained by Ron Steck, the driver Pierce Henry. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate and mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering.
You guys
on
can
race
see
7.
that 5 Seaside Art on your screen right now. So this is in the Ron Steck stable, the only down by the Seaside he has this season. Again, he's on camera right now. And Seaside Art, his nickname is Nelson, named after groom and caretaker Leanne Davenport's dad, Nelson Davenport, who I believe was a trainer and passed away, I believe she told me about 10 years ago it was. So Seaside Art, nicknamed Nelson in honor of Nelson Davenport. And so far on the season, 9 starts, has 1 victory, and that was back in Paulding. His first career start, he made a winning effort in 2:09 and 4. I believe Cam McCown was actually driving that day. And on the season, Seaside Art has earnings of $4,310 here so far.
Yes. I'll tell you, this old Nelson, he went up at Paulding 2-9 and 4, but as he's eclipsed the 2-4 mark 3 or 4 times. So 2-4 in this, I don't know, hard stat. This is a nice 2-year-old colt by Manhart, another Michigan ship-in. 2 minutes and 4/5 at Oak Harbor for 2-year-old. That is pretty good. Oak Harbor, another great, unique Ohio fair track, is right on the Portage River.
Yep.
And depending on the ebb and flow of the river, track will get a little deep or cuppy or what have you. So it's...
Yeah, they told me, I think it was about 48 hours before the first day of racing, pretty much the entire track was underwater. They had a big rainstorm over the weekend, got things dried out. A lot of the grounds are still a muddy mess, but they worked the track in really well and had a solid surface there, and actually had a couple really fast miles too. So shout out to Oak Harbor for the big turnaround that they made in that short amount of time. And also this 2 Heartstack drops in from the Buckeye Stallion Series, 2 starts back, was able to draw a check 5th at Urbana there. And then in that race at Oak Harbor, you mentioned, that was a really good effort, as well as he sat through a 101 1/2, 3rd behind Luck of the Dragon and Hillbilly High Special, 2 really nice pacing colts as well. Was able to shoot to the outside there and pick up the victory at Oak Harbor. And again, 2 minutes and 4/5, a really nice mile up there for a 2-year-old colt pacer.
Now on Northfield on the 30th.
Senator Bruce Patterson has called the 2-year-old colt pacers in. Gerald Jett, Heartstack,
quarter 30 and
Surfin'
2.
the Canyon, Romeo
Just beat
Jack,
3/4
and
length.
Seaside Art, scoring in that order
At
from the River.
34-1 too from Mr. Harmon. But this is a good field. This is going to be a nice race. They're at the head of the lane for the 7th here from Henry County Fair here in Napoleon, Ohio.
There they come.
7 of 11.
They're off and pacing. That's Heartstack going out after the air to lead along with Gerald Jett. In their 3rd is Surfin' the Canyon. 4th it is Romeo Jack, and the last horse is Seaside Art. Making the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that quarter-mile mark. Don Herman has Heartstack on top by 2.5 lengths. Pacing 2nd is Gerald Jett, driven by Kim Pluta. Ranging up on the outside 3rd is Seaside Art, driven by Pierce Henry. Along the rail 4th, Surfin' the Canyon, driven by Jason Merriman. And the last horse is Romeo Jack, driven by Jay Cross. Going past that quarter-mile mark, that's still Heartstack with the lead. First quarter pace in 31 3/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn, they come down past the stand for the first time. That's Heartstack with the lead. At the rail second, that's Gerald Jett. Surfing the Canyon is now pacing third. Fourth is Romeo Jack, and the last horse is Seaside Art. No change as they race down toward the half. That's Don Harmon and Heartstack bringing the horses down to the half. Sitting in the golden chair second, that's Gerald Jett. Third is Surfing the Canyon. Fourth along the rail is Romeo Jack, and on the outside fifth is Seaside Art. First half paced in 103 2/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Heartstack. The closest horse second is Gerald Jett. Third along the rail, that's Surfing the Canyon. Fourth is Romeo Jack, and Seaside Art trails. The pace picks up a wee bit going toward the 3/4 mile mark. That's still Heartstack with the lead. Second along the rail, Gerald Jett, and now third, and on the move on the outside comes Surfing the Canyon, and also on the move fourth is Romeo Jack. 3/4 in 133 4/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Heartstack by 2.5 lengths over Gerald Jett. Surfing the Canyon still third, followed by Romeo Jack fourth, and Seaside Art fifth. As they race toward home, that's Heartstack and Gerald Jett. Heartstack and Gerald Jett. Heartstack and Gerald Jett. Looks like the money for this race is going to go to Portland, Michigan with Heartstack. Up for place is Gerald Jett. Tight for show there between Romeo Jack and Surfing the Canyon. A mile in 2:03 3/5.
Last half a minute in the fifth. Looked like 2, 1.
And then tight between 4 and 3 there for place. Or excuse me, for show.
I'm going to say 4.
It looked pretty tight. Last quarter in 29 4 there for Heartstack.
Nice colt, nice gated colt by Manhart. That's his second win. He is now 9 for 10 on the board at Oak Harbor Mile. That's an impressive mile up in Oak Harbor.
Pretty good. Now seasonal earnings are up over $11,800 after today too.
These 2-year-old colts coming around. They Heartstack is his 10th start, and Seaside Art this is his 10th start. So they're still green. They're still learning.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Portland, Michigan, comes number 2, Heartstack. Owned by Eugene Schraben, trained by Marvin Kraft, and driven to victory this evening by Don Harmon.
I wonder if that is
Blanket
Libby
for this
Myers.
race is courtesy of Shears. That's Kathy Oberhaus of Napoleon.
And then winner's circle, there's that Libby Myers, a breeder up in Michigan. Up in Portland, Michigan. We've got to find out where that is.
That's really heard here for Don Harmon and Heartstack. And to Shears, the donors of the blanket.
Yeah, there's nothing like a win. That'll brighten your day up. Is that Don Harmon's second win today, I believe?
Yep. Yeah, Don Harmon, his second trip to the winner's circle, and that was Marvin Kraft's first here today.
Heartstack. Consistent, very consistent 2-year-old. Camp's Card Shark is a sire of the dam. He was a great horse. He was horse of the year or something like that. I think he went back about 2000 and... Boy, I'm going to test my memory. I can't. 2004, was he, think?
Is he a Cam Luck or a Better's Delight? Can you remember?
No, he's a Cam.
Is a Cam's Luck? It seemed like it was obvious by the name. For some reason, I was thinking he was maybe a Better's Delight.
I believe he was I might even say he's a Cam fella.
Okay.
We'll have to dig out the Pathway account.
Yeah, there we go.
There.
Plug Pathway.
And that, again, folks said if you want to, anytime you do, you can just go to the USTA, go to the Pathway account, boom, 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 and within a minute, with good reception, you'll have the answer. Let's go. Put the timer on me. This is just like...
We still have some time. They're still talking over the official rundown here of race 7. Again, it was tight at the wire for show. So I know first went to the 2 Hardstack. Second was the 1 Gerald Jet, but it was tight between the 3 and 4.
Here are the official placings for race 7 from the top. Number 1 Gerald Jet was second. Number 2 Hardstack was the winner. Number 3 Surfing the Canyon was 4th. Number 4 Romeo Jack was 3rd. Number 5 Seaside Art was 5th. Time in the first quarter was 31 3/5. The half was in 103 2/5. The 3 quarters in 133 4/5. With a mile in 203 3/5. From the top of Charade, 2:14.35 on the bottom. The mile in 203 3/5.
So, and Tom, quick question for you. We'll step aside from the Pathways research, but just curious from a horseman's perspective here, the 5 Seaside Art goes out and again wins his first career start. You know, that has to be an incredible high for you. And now, you know, in the 8 starts that follow, hasn't hit the board and, you know, has just struggled. Not really much luck with post positions. How frustrating early is that as a horseman?
Well, it's, again, the role we've called the brick wall, and some of them train down like champions. Say I got a world champion in 210, but when they go in 208, that's it. You know, and it's unbelievable. I've seen a lot of great horses train, and you think they're like going to make $1 million for the year, and they hit the brick wall. It's just something that happens, you know. But it's very frustrating, especially if they've been training good all winter long, and you've had high hopes. But that's racing.
Yep, but very true. But still, just his 10th lifetime start today. Again, still green and learning. But again, you know, just frustrating to come out of the box with that win and not hit the board in the 8 starts following. But hopefully, Nelson can get back on track here for Ron Steck. But again,
that's a question. Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson.
So the rundown one last time here in race number 7. The winner was the 2 Hardstack. Second was the 1 Gerald Jet. Third was the 4 Romeo Jack. Fourth was the 3 Surfing the Canyon. And rounding out the field, 5th was the 5 Seaside Art. Hardstack, Marvin Kraft the trainer, Don Harmon the driver, a winner in 203 3 in race 7 here in Napoleon. So we have 4 more races to go on the card here at Napoleon. Me and Tom Pye will step aside and get a word from our sponsors and be back with race number 8 in Henry County.
When the Henry County Agricultural Society was formed in 1852, much of the land was still heavily timbered and uncultivated. The county is located in the northwestern part of the state in what used to be the Great Black Swamp. After the swamp was drained, it became some of the most fertile land in the United States. The first Henry County Fair was held in October of 1853 as a celebration of harvest. The 2-day event was hosted in an open field just outside of Napoleon, Ohio. The fair grew steadily, and by 1884, the grounds were complete with barns, a judge's stand, and a racetrack. The best crop and livestock around continue to be exhibited here. Farming remains the largest employer in Henry County, with 91% of the county as farm fields. The area is also Ohio's 3rd largest producers of wheat. Today, the Henry County Fair is a member of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference and hosts 2 days of live-action harness racing.
The roots of harness racing are born at the county fairs. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the thrills this summer at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 21 fairs in 19 Ohio counties. Trotters and pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm with 500 acres of pasture for breeding to boarding and on-site veterinarian care, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Visit us September 17th at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds and get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Pet Rock, and Long Tom. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigDWeb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800.
We're back.
And Tom, you've finally solved the mystery here. We were talking in the last race. I'm trying to remember what horse it was again. We were talking about Heartstack, and he's out of a Cam's Card Shark mare named Chipstack, and we were debating the sire of Cam's Card Shark a little bit.
He was a legendary. Cam's Card Shark was a foal in 1991, and as a 3-year-old, took a mark of 150 flat. Now back then, that was pretty good. 150 flat. Made $2,498,000 by Cam Fella. Hey, Fella. And
Our starting postword for race 8. This is the first division of a pace for 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. Also eligible non-winners of $2,500 lifetime. Also eligible maidens. They're going for a purse of $600 and a blanket courtesy of Zach's Recycling. Number 1 is Drops of Desire, all by APK Racing Stable of Deerfield, Michigan, trained by Casey Wolf. The driver is Mike Wolf. Number 2 is Right Here, Right Now, all by Ron Merritt of Jackson, Michigan, trained and driven by Kim Pluta. Number 3 is Espresso, owned and trained by Jim Molnix of Wauseon, the driver Don Harmon. Number 4 is Eterna's Choice, owned by Taylor Equine Racing, LLC of Albion, Michigan, Elizabeth Gibbs of Battle Creek, Michigan, trained and driven by Chuck Taylor. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate and mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. Hurry and don't be shut out. There's win, place, exacta, and trifecta wagering in race 8. Daily double wagering on races 8 and 9. Might mention that tomorrow night there'll be 11 races once again with post time of 5 o'clock. Featuring the Henry County Horsemen's Memorial Pace with a full 8-horse field.
that'll be a good race. That
5 on the gate and 3 trailers. That'll be a traffic jam.
Winging out of there. This is a 2 and 3-year-old pace. It's a condition race, and it's also eligible. Non-winners are $2,500 lifetime. So you have a couple in here. One's a standout. There's a 3-year-old by Rockin' Image, Kim Pluta, on a mark at 157 at Northfield. And won 6 races out of his 16 starts. Now Rushville, Drop of Desire. That's Rushville is over in Indiana. Marked 2-6-1. He thought he was going to come over here and get an easy. This is not an easy race, especially we've got Don Harmon's Espresso. She's a 3-year-old filly by a Rock and Roll Dance. Win at Oak Harbor in 2-1-1 and 2-1-3, and also won at Hoosier Park last year as a 2-year-old in 56-3. She has only 6 starts and 2 wins and a third. Only 6,500 earned, but she's got speed, just coming off a mile in Scioto, 154-4, back-to-back 54 miles. Espresso, have a cup of coffee on me. I think that she should be the best. But
Yeah,
you never know.
You look, horses 1, 2, and 3 all have recent starts with non-winners of 2 lifetime or pari-mutuel races, that is, anyhow. So kind of racing against some similar classes, but at different tracks. And again, the 2 right there right now comes in from Running Aces.
Up there in Minnesota.
Correct. Racing with the non-winners of 2 pari-mutuel up there. That's a 5/8 of a mile track there. And then the 3 Espresso racing at the 5/8 of Scioto Downs south of Columbus here. And again, racing against filly and mares, non-winners of 2 pari-mutuel races lifetime.
This is a Jim Mullenix trainee. He owns Espresso, and is a co-breeder of Espresso. And of course, Jim came out with Lost in Time, and in fact, Bill Peters and I were talking just the other day how he went out at Defiance, his first appearance on a racetrack, and winning 2 minutes and 3 seconds and 4/5, 2:03 and 4. And what an impressive start! You just looked like a good horse. He went on to be 2-year-old of the year.
Wow!
And start right in Defiance. This Espresso, again, she can come on. That's a great mile at Oak Harbor, and last start it was in the slop, 54 and 4. Last quarter 29 and 4 at
Dr. Bruce
Scioto.
Patterson has called the Pacers in. Drops of Desire right here, right now. Espresso and Eterna's Choice. Here they come. They're off and pacing. That's right here, right now, going out after that early lead. Dropping in their second is Drops of Desire. Third is Espresso, and the last horse is Eterna's Choice. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Kim Pluta has right here, right now, on top by 2 lengths. Pacing second is Drops of Desire, driven by Mike Wolf. And their third, that's Espresso, driven by Don Harmon. And the last horse is Eterna's Choice, driven by Chuck Taylor. Past that quarter-mile mark, that's still right here, right now, by 2 lengths. First quarter pace in 32 and 1/5 seconds. That's right here, right now, by 2 lengths. In their second, Drops of Desire. Racing third is Espresso, and trailing is Eterna's Choice. Horses are in straight alignment as they race down toward the half-mile mark. That's Kim Pluta, and right here, right now, bringing the horses down to the half. Still racing second is Drops of Desire, with Espresso third and Eterna's Choice trailing. Past that half-mile mark, that's still right here, right now, with the lead. First half paced in 1:04. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. That's right here, right now, by 2 lengths. Drops of Desire second, and here comes Espresso up on the outside third, and off stride now goes Eterna's Choice. Going to the 3/4 mile mark now. Kim Pluta opens up with right here, right now, and he's doing it right now. Okay, now moving up on the outside second is Espresso. 3/4 and 134 and 2/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's right here, right now, by 3.5 lengths over Espresso. Drops of Desire racing third with Eterna's Choice trailing. Off stride goes Espresso as they race toward home. That's right here, right now. Moving up second is Drops of Desire. Past the stands, it's gonna be right here, right now. And here they all come. Up for place is Drops of Desire, and the third horse is Eterna's Choice. A mile in 2:03 and 3/5.
This quarter in 29 and 1. That is why coming up that turn, Espresso made the bobble. It was more than a bobble, it was a break. The looked like 2-1-4. 2-3 and 3 last half, and 59 and 3. Tell you, that was a good mile.
You had 3/4, 134 and 2, was it?
What did you catch?
I thought it was 134. I couldn't remember.
Let's see. We'll get the official.
We'll get the official rundown. Official rundown from Bill. Yep. But yeah, it was right here, right now, getting to the top and never surrendering it after that. No right lines at the half. It was Right Here, Right Now, followed by Drops of Desire, then Espresso. Rounding out the field was Eterna's Choice. And again, it was going to 3/4 that Don Harmon and Espresso made their move to the top, into second, and was stalking the leader and made that break around the final turn.
Just out of eyesight, I was right out of field of vision because I was looking at the crowd. Got a great crowd here. Great to see the people back. And this is an honest lady. Give that lady a prize. We have an honest lady here. See?
Nice meeting you. Take care, Billy.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, where only the winners go. Coming in from Jackson, Michigan, comes number 2, Right Here, Right Now.
Right Here, Right Now was a blooded horse sale purchase of $10,000. Is now gone over.
Right Here, Right Now is owned by Ron Merritt of Jackson, Michigan, and trained into a victory by Kim Pluta. The blanket for this race is courtesy of Zex Recycling.
So he's gone over the just about up to $12,000, and we'll call it all on gravy now.
Let's have a big hand here for Ron Merritt, Kim Pluta, and Right Here, Right Now, and Zex Recycling, the donors of the blanket.
Nice.
And the official placings for race 8 from the top. Number 1, Drops of Desire was second. Number 2, Right Here, Right Now was the winner. Number 3, Espresso was fourth. Number 4, Eterna's Choice was third. Time of the first quarter was 32 1/5. The half was in 1:04. The 3/4 in 1:34 2/5. With a mile in 2:03 3/5. From the top it should read 2:14, 3 on the bottom, the mile in 2:03 3/5. In the upcoming race 9, number 1, TC's Happy Times. The driver will be Rod Adams Jr. Rod Adams Jr. on number 1, TC's Happy Times. Number 5, The Next Triumph. The driver will be Pierce Henry. Pierce Henry on number 5, The Next Triumph. And number 7,
So there's the rundown on race number 8. Again, it's Right Here, Right Now, picking up the victory with Kim Pluta training and driving. We did get the corrected fractional times, as you guys heard there. So, again, a winner in 2:03 3. The final quarter for Right Here, Right Now was 29 1. Back half in 59 1, and pretty impressive because, again, you look down through some of these race lines at Running Aces, you're seeing last quarters of 29-2, 29-4, 31-3, and that's on a 5/8 mile track. So put in a pretty good effort here on the half mile at Napoleon.
Yes, exactly. Great mile that was. He was a happy contestant in the winner's circle. So he was happy to come on down.
That's right.
Right. We, with that coming up here, this is a Signature Series trot, 4-year-olds and up. This might be close to the, we're going to go 2 minutes and 3/5. We shall return after a few messages from our sponsors for the night.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio wants to thank all the breeders that supported our first season standing the trotter, Muscle Diamond. Cool Winds also welcomed the proven sire, Mr. Apples, to our stallion barn. Randy and Kim Haynes also stand the only full brother to some beach somewhere, Bring on the Beach, sire of Heart of Chewbacca. Visit the Cool Winds consignment at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway Ag Center on Friday, September 17th.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Buying or selling a racehorse? OnGate.com is your one-stop website. OnGate has changed the way racehorses are bought and sold. Easy to view listings makes it easy to find your next champion. Buy or sell at OnGate.com.
And we're back here in Napoleon, Henry County Fair. And is it time for the race 9 stretch, so to speak, Tom? Yeah. So get this stretch in here. We're 8 races in and 3 more to go from the Henry County Fair in Napoleon. Again, appreciate you guys joining us here live on the OHHA YouTube network. If you missed races 1 through 4, we weren't able to bring you those live. But make sure you stay tuned to trotandpaceracing.com, and they will be posting replays in the coming days of races 1 through 4 here in Napoleon. But again, feel free to check those out, trotandpaceracing.com. And also, you can catch a lot of our racing action on the new OHHA website called harnessracingohio.com. And on there, you can find pretty much all racing pertaining to the great state of Ohio. So when you log on to harnessracingohio.com, at the top of the page, there's a link you can click on there that says View Races Live or View Live Races. And you can click on there and you can check out all of our broadcasts that we have going on all on one page. So that way, again, we bring broadcasts to you guys in a multitude of ways. The OHHA Facebook page, the Trot and Pace Racing Facebook page. We're on YouTube sometimes as well. So instead of having to backtrack through all of those websites to watch the broadcast you want to tune into, go to harnessracingohio.com, and then at the top of the page, click on View Live Races, and you can find all of our broadcasts on there, as well as underneath those free program pages as well. So download your program at home so you can follow along live with us and make your selections from the couch, Tom.
You are correct, Austin Scott. It is a wealth of information. It covers our 65 county fairs with harness racing, our 4 major tracks: Scioto Downs, Dayton, Miami Valley, and Northfield. Plus, it got all the information, all the schedules. It's just an excellent job. I checked it out today.
Yep.
Very plaudits to everybody involved. And I was just, did you have any information on the Scioto tonight?
Yeah.
I heard they were canceled.
Yeah, live racing at Scioto Downs was canceled tonight by the city of Columbus, and they said it was due to a grandstand occupancy denial.
Yes.
So again, we have not been made clear of what exactly that means, whether it's safety related, health related, or what is happening there. But again, breaking news is that Scioto Downs live racing was canceled tonight by the city of Columbus. So stay tuned to Facebook and see if you can get the story on what's going on with Scioto Downs and what their near future plans are as well. But I know what our near future plans are right now, Tom. We're looking forward to race number 9 here in Napoleon, and this is a big one.
This is going to be fast. We have horses in here. Marks of 54 and 4 at Northfield. I'm going to go right down from the 1, the 2.
And this is the Signature Series Trot, Tom,
yes,
by the way. And we have a field of 7, our largest field of the night here so far.
And at 54 and 4 at Northfield, that's TC's Happy Time, Jay Weller's 6-year-old by Trump, Caviar, the Gelding, Fort Commander, driven by Mike Wolf, got a mark of 56 and 4 at Northfield. As a 6-year-old, these are $100,000 winners. Swan Leader, the 3, Charles Taylor in the sulky, mark of 54 at Hoosier Park, but has won at Northfield 54 and 3. 197 lifetime starts, 46 wins, $357,000 earned. Nice animal. 9-year-old by Swan for All. Then we have the 4, Stormin' at Dawn, mark of 56 and 4 at Northfield, 139,000 made lifetime. The next Triumph, mark at Northfield, 155 and 2, $322,000 over earned. 35 wins and 175 starts. And from the second tier, Hillbilly Burt has only but mark of 58-4 at Northfield. They got 40,000 in his card, 86 lifetime starts. Paragon Billy, poor Billy from the 7-hole. He has only 41 starts, 5 wins at a mark of 2, 4, and 3 at Northfield, which is kind of outclassed. I only say outclass. You never know. He's been he's been 2 minutes at Tiffin, which is pretty good. So this is going to be a good, fast race.
A little disappointed you quit reading the sires there, especially when you got to the 6, Tom.
Oh, I did. I stopped reading
You
the sires.
stopped reading the sires. And read that sire of the 6, please.
Triumphant Caviar.
No, of the 6.
Oh, Bite the Taxman.
Come on, Tom.
This is a part of the
Six trying to serve you up on that one.
Bite the Taxman.
Here's the post parade of race 9.
$3,175.
Gonna have to look that up now.
TC's Happy Times. He's a brown gelding, 6 years old, by Triumphant Caviar, out of Happy Everything by Ken Workington, owned by Louise and Jay Weller of Republic, trained by Jay Weller, driven this evening by Rod Adams Jr., has lifetime earnings over $120,000, a lifetime mark 154 and 4/5. Number 2 is Fort Commander. He's a bay gelding, 11 years old, by Jailhouse Jesse, out of Sugar Chip by Pine Chip, owned by APK Racing Stable LLC of Deerfield, Michigan, trained by Casey Wolf, the driver Mike Wolf, lifetime earnings over $166,000, a lifetime mark 156 and 4/5. Number 3 is Swan Leader. He's a brown gelding, 9 years old, by Swan for All, out of Lasting Beauty by Yankee Glide, owned by Chuck Taylor of Albion, Michigan, Vivian Boer of Coldwater, Michigan, trained and driven by Chuck Taylor, lifetime earnings over $357,000, a lifetime mark 154. Number 4 is Stormin' at Dawn. He's a bay gelding, 6 years old, by Stormin' Norman, out of Dawn's a Breakin' by Mutineer, owned by Eugene Schraubin of Portland, Michigan, driven by Marvin Kraft, trained by Marvin Kraft, driven this evening by Don Harmon, lifetime earnings over $139,000, a lifetime mark 156 and 4/5. Number 5 is the Next Triumph. He's a bay gelding, 8 years old, by Triumphant Caviar, out of We Got Next by Overcomer, owned by Ron Steck of Marengo, Ohio, and Robert Smolko of Solon, Ohio, trained by Ron Steck, driven this evening by Pierce Henry, lifetime earnings over $322,000, a lifetime mark of 155 and 2/5. Number 6 is Hillbilly Burt. He's a brown gelding, 8 years old, by Bite the Taxman, out of Ebony Torch by Blowtorch, owned and trained by Mary Beth Stanley of Battle Creek, Michigan, driven this evening by Skip DeMall, lifetime earnings over $40,000, a lifetime mark of 158 and 4/5. At number 7 is Paragon Billy D. He's a brown gelding, 5 years old, by Victory Sam, out of Misty's Legacy by Winky's Pine, owned, trained, and driven by Phil Peaton of Addison, Michigan, lifetime earnings over $9,200, a lifetime mark 204 and 3/5. Those are your horses for the 2021 Signature Series Trot, the Henry County Horseman Memorial Trot in memory of Fred Frepper.
And Bill Peters and the OFRC definitely know how to do a post parade here for a featured event. So been able to see a couple of them that he's done at Paulding as well as Ottawa and Oak Harbor. And they do a great job getting the horses really spread out so he can run through the gamut of all of their stats and figures throughout their career. So well done by Bill and the Ohio Fair Racing Conference here in the Signature Series Trot. And Tom, you have a little more information about the sire of the 6, Hillbilly Burt, named Bite the Taxman. A lot of our viewers are probably like us and never heard of Bite the Taxman. So what did you find out?
Well, I don't believe he raced, but he didn't make a cent, but he was kind of well bred. He was by Pine Chip, out of a mare by the name of January. She was by Super Bowl. So that's good breeding, you know. And it's again
and fold win. You saw when he was foaled, right? I think 1997.
Yeah.
Does that sound right? So yeah, 24 years ago, Bite the Taxman was foaled.
But it's again, you know, the people get, and that's the best thing about being on a farm, or you get a horse you like, and for some reason they don't take a fast mark or they don't make enough money, but You say, I knew this horse was going to be a good one. And you breed it, and you might come out with a world champion. You never know.
And this is actually a homebred for owner-trainer Mary Beth Stanley.
From Battle Creek, Michigan. So, we heard about Battle Creek. That's where all the cereal comes from, I believe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Battle Creek, yeah. All those cornflakes and pop schnapps, or what do they call them? Sugar pops.
Pop schnapps.
Pop schnapps. I don't know that. And, there's one I can do. And they're great. Remember Tony the Tiger? Great.
You do a great Tony the Tiger and a great Jimmy Stewart.
Well, I'm going to give it
up. That's quite the arsenal of impersonations you have, Tom. At least you have a variety.
Yeah.
You got the black and white 1930s movie air covered, and you got kids cereal impersonations covered. So let me know when you're touring. I'll definitely buy a ticket.
Can I go to Vegas on that? That's my 3 impersonations.
Pop schnapps.
Pop schnapps.
It's killing me. I'm trying to think of the dang cereal now. Oh, goodness. What? Sugar? Is it Sugar Pops? I don't think it's Sugar. Is it Sugar
Pops?
Is it Rice Krispies? They go
Rice
snap,
Krispies.
crackle, and pop. Maybe is that what you're thinking of? I don't know. Anyhow, Battle Creek, Michigan, getting plenty of coverage here today. But
to our friends in Battle Creek, Michigan, hello.
Hope you're doing great.
Great.
Oh, goodness. And that, again, Signature Series Trot here, presented by the Henry County Horsemen's Memorial. And this is in memory of Fred Freppel, that they had, I think, a little bit of a moment, I think, for him prior to this race and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And again, it's horses 1 through 5 on the gate, 6 and 7 trailers. We'll turn it over to Bill Peters now as he goes through the lineup.
Commander, Swan Leader, Stormin' at Dawn with the next Triumph on the outside in the first tier. 2 trailers, Hillbilly Bert and Paragon Billy D.
All right, you bet is he.
There at the post. Starting gate is rolling now.
5 is now 6-5. The next Triumph. He's an old class horse. This is Ron Steck's nice trotter. He's 8 years old. Second favorite at 5-2 is the 3 Swan Leader. Another old ass. Again, we're looking for a track record. We were always looking for track record. Track record from Simply a Mission, 2018.
They come.
2 minutes and 3/5. How close can we come?
The year of Fenn trotting in the Henry County Horse Memorial Trot. The first horse out of the way from the gate, that's Swan Leader. At the rail second, that's Fort Commander. Up on the outside third, that's the next Triumph. At the rail fourth, it's Stormin' at Dawn. Fifth, it is Paragon Billy D. In there sixth is Hillbilly Bert. And the last horse is TC's Happy Times. As they go toward that quarter-mile mark, now Pierce Henry moves the next Triumph up to gain command. Dropping back second is Swan Leader, driven by Chuck Taylor. In there third is Fort Commander, driven by Mike Wolf. Fourth is Stormin' at Dawn, driven by Don Harmon. Fifth is Paragon Billy D, driven by Phil Peden. Sixth is Hillbilly Bert, driven by Skip DeMall. The last horse down the backside is TC's Happy Times, driven by Rod Adams Jr. First quarter was trotted in a fast 29 2/5 seconds. As they race down toward the half-mile mark, that's the next Triumph with the lead. Swan Leader at the Golden Chair second, edging up on the outside third. Now comes Fort Commander. Coming to the half-mile mark, that's the next Triumph along the rail with the lead. Fort Commander is now on the outside second, pouring on the pressure. Swan Leader is third, up on the outside fourth is Paragon Billy D, with Stormin' at Dawn right there fifth, followed by Hillbilly Bert sixth. First half trotted in 101 4/5 as they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is the next Triumph. The horse pouring on the pressure on the outside second is Fort Commander. Swan Leader is third and looking for racing room. Edging up on the outside fourth now comes Stormin' at Dawn. Slipping through at the rail fifth is Hillbilly Bert, and back to sixth Paragon Billy D. The last horse TC's Happy Times. Going past that 3/4 mile mark, it's still the next Triumph with the lead. 3 wide on the outside, now comes Stormin' at Dawn. 3/4 and 132 and 4/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's the next Triumph along the railway lead. On the outside second, that is Storming at Dawn. Third and edging up on the outside now comes Swan Leader, and Swan Leader now has some space to trot as they race toward home. It's the next Triumph and Swan Leader. The next Triumph and Swan Leader closing fast on the outside. The next Triumph and Swan Leader. It's Swan Leader. The next Triumph up for place, tight for show between Hillbilly Burt and Stormin' at Dawn. 1 mile in 2:03 and 2/5.
Well, it wasn't a track record, but it was sure a darn good race. Last quarter 30-3. Again, Pierce Henry rated the mile extremely good, stacked them up on the backside. They had to go 3 wide. And I believe it was 3, 5, 4, 6.
Yeah. Yep. I had 3, 5, 6. It was really tight there for show. By my eye, it did look like the 6 Hillbilly Burt getting up for show.
I bite the tax man.
Sponsored by Pop Schnapps.
Pop Schnapps. Brattle Creek, Michigan.
Oh, goodness.
Pop Schnapps are not great. They're okay.
Oh, Swan Leader, second win of the season in 20 tries here, has 6 seconds, 4 thirds. And that's going to take his seasonal earnings here up over 16... Looks like about 16.5, I believe, in seasonal earnings after today.
Yep. That is his 47th career win out of 198 lifetime starts. 350. Close to 359,000.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where only the winners go. Coming in from Albion and Coldwater, Michigan, comes number 3, Swan Leader. All by Chuck Taylor and Vivian Boer, and trained to win a victory by Chuck Taylor. A blanket for this race is given in memory of Fred Freppel.
Swan Leader had the most money earned lifetime, and he was the best in there. Adds to the bankroll.
That's a big hand here for the Taylors and Swan Leader, the winner of the 2021 Henry County Horseman Memorial Trot, a part of the Signature Series.
Oh, the old horse still has it. Swan for all 9-year-old. There you go, class. Nice animal.
Yep, 1 through 5 horses 1 through 5 in this race, all earners of 120,000 or more. Tom, good group of trotters here with the Signature Series.
And a full golf cart, full winner's circle. They all come down. That's good.
I had to hitch a trailer on that thing.
I think we got a 3-year-old colt truck coming up. This is the 2nd division. But there's your fast mile for for the night. That was good. Wasn't as fast as I thought it would go, but it's again, Pierce Henry took control of the Ron Stack trainee and backed off, stacked him up. That's what called smart driving. That is.
Still waiting on the full rundown from this race here, as I believe, again, they were reviewing probably the finish for show. That was really tight there. With, I think it was Hillbilly Burt and maybe Stormin' at Dawn were really close there for 3rd and 4th. So I believe the judge is still reviewing that at this time. But I'll give you the full rundown from Bill Peters when it's available here.
And tomorrow we have the Signature Pace, Series Pace. That'll be a good race. Now, you here tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Are you?
Yep.
Here they
Okay.
are, for race 9 from the top.
we
Number
go.
1, TC's Happy Times was 7th. Number 2, Fort Commander was 5th. Number 3, Swan Leader was the winner. Number 4, Stormin' at Dawn was 4th. Number 5, The Next Triumph was 2nd. Number 6, Hillbilly Burt was 3rd. And number 7, Paragon Billy D was 6th. Time of the first quarter was 29 2/5. The half was in 101 4/5. The 3 quarters in 132 4/5. With a mile in 203 2/5. On the top it should read 751 423. 6 on the bottom. The mile in 203 2/5.
Yeah, tomorrow,
In the
Tom,
upcoming
in race
10,
9 is
number
that
3,
signature series pace, actually. So going for a purse of $3,225, and there will be 8 horses going postward for that one. And here at Napoleon, again, going to be a firing line to start things out. You have 1 through 5 on the gate, and then 6, 7, and 8 will be in the second tier. So not going to be able to take a duck in that one. You're going to have to gun out for the lead if you really want a shot in it. And again, we have some really nice horses in it, including the 2 Catch Me Conrad, who is close to the top in the Signature Series point standings. Again, at when they get to Jug Week, they're going to have the Signature Series Pace and Trot Finals during Jug Week, and the top 8 in points for each gate will be eligible to go into that final during Jug Week. So keep an eye on those Signature Series points. You can stay in tune with them if you go to the Signature Series and find and like their page on Facebook, or if you go to their website, thesignatureseries.us, and they have the point standings on there. But again, Catch Me Conrad, also in that race, Torig Sealster, both, I believe, fighting for spots in that top 8, and also someone that's been in the Signature Series Pace Final in the past, American Schnapps, also in that race too. So again, tomorrow night, another 11-race card here from the Henry County Fair in Napoleon, including that Signature Series Pace. But we still have 2 more to go from Napoleon tonight, Tom. Races 10 and 11 will be coming your way, but we're going to get a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be back with a preview of race number 10.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
Bow River Jewelry has been the premier designers of sulky jewelry for more than 30 years. We incorporate today's fashion designs to create a unique piece of jewelry only found at Bow River. Visit bowriverjewelry.com today.
And we're back here in Napoleon. Keeping the crowd entertained here is Matt Richardson down underneath the judges' stand. Don, give him some camera time. He's earned his due tonight. Don enjoying the music here with me, Austin Scott, and Tom Pye. And we are 9 of 11 races through the card here at the Henry County Fair. And this crowd has remained and just continued to grow here, Tom.
Great crowd. They were, and of course, after last year, we were on the silent running. This is so good to see the folks come back out. And we're treating them to some pretty good racing, too. Mm-hmm. One more time, they hollered. They're singing Kate.
They're looking for an encore up here in the crowd.
There we go.
Oh, a good crowd on hand. And again, just day one here. Still have 2 more races left, and Tom Pye and I will be back tomorrow night. Same time, same place, 5 p.m. And hopefully we will be able to bring you the entire card live tomorrow night, as long as our internet connection sticks around for tomorrow here. So some hard work put in by the Trot and Pace marketing crew, as well as those on the ground here in Napoleon. And again, same time, same place tomorrow night here at the Henry County Fairgrounds in Napoleon, 5 p.m. first post. And again, it'll be me and the harness guy, Tom Pye, bringing them to you. And right now we're bringing you the post parade for race 10.
This is the second division of the 3-year-old colt trot, going for a purse of $4,918 and a blanket courtesy of Moxie Salon and Spa. Number 1 is Sierra Spirit, owned, trained, and driven by Scott Altizer of Carroll, Michigan. Number 2 is Flip the Switch, owned, trained, and driven by Dan Vinier of Pemberville. Number 3 is PC's Cruiser, owned by Lemmer Racing LLC of Rockwood, Michigan, trained by Mike Sweeney, the driver, Pierce Henry. Number 4 is Claire's Favorite, owned by Marjorie Deshetsky of North Branch, Michigan, trained by Ken Hess, the driver, Skip DeMall. Number 5 is Don't Take My Keys, owned, trained, and driven by John Kineski III of Pemberville. Horses will take 1 long score and go to the gate and mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering here in race 10.
And so a field of 5 here, introduced to you by Bill Peters. And take a look down through there, Tom. What can you see?
Some pretty nice trotters. I like this PC's Cruiser, Pierce Henry. First time gets the seat, but he has 12 starts, 3 wins, 3 seconds, 2/3, mark of 58 4 at Scioto. And he has earned close to $14,000 this year. Shows nothing but 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2 on his card. Nice little triumphant caviar gelding.
And yeah, if you look at that, again, if you go to harnessracingohio.com, go to view live races, and underneath the box here for the Henry County Fair Napoleon, you can download a program so you can follow along with Tom Pye and I, and we point some of this stuff out. But on the 3 PC's Cruiser, you can see here Mike Sweeney actually, the owners, I should say, sent PC's Cruiser up to the Art McElmurray barn to compete in a couple of Michigan Fair Stakes event, in which PC's Cruiser was 2nd and 3rd up there, and came back to the Mike Sweeney barn for these Ohio Fair Stake events, including most recently that win at Attica that you pointed out, and a 2nd place effort at Bowling Green as well. So talking with Mike about PC's Cruiser, he said that her dam Postcard by Carry the Message, Postcard was a very hot and a little bit of a moody mare, and she was actually known for kicking people out of the race bike. So, and has kind of passed some of that feistiness down to PC's Cruiser. As Mike said, she will get very hot out there on the track sometimes. So, but recently, she's been hot in a good way from what it looks like. Hasn't been worse than 3rd in her last 6 appearances. So, really strong as PC's Cruiser right now.
It is. And again, as we talked about, Carry the Message, if I really was a kind of a nice horse, he could get a little hot, get a little foolish, but I had one of his get. His name was Copy the Message, and I nicknamed him Knucklehead, Old Knuck. And,
Old Knuck.
Old Knuck, we call him.
It sounds like PC's Cruiser gets it honest then, being a little feisty. With if the dam was that way, then the sire of the dam also. So passing it on down the family line.
Funny how they follow their traits, and they'll just the way they stand, they'll look just like their dam or their sire, just the way they carry themselves. Now, I also like what's been doing is John Kineski III's Uncle Peter gelding. He's coming around again. He's 7. We talked with John up at Bowling Green, and he gave us a little insight on the Bowling Green horseman. He did win at Oak Harbor in 2, 3, and 1.
Yeah, that was an impressive effort there. I remember that going going first up there through really the first half in just 1:03, and goes first up and able to go by the leader in the back half, and basically a minute here for Don't Take My Keys to pick up that victory and establish a new lifetime mark, or excuse me, new lifetime mark of 2:03.1 in that race at Oak Harbor.
That is
Claire's
impressive.
favorite
29 seconds
with
flat.
Don't Take My Keys on the outside.
You know, as John did
They're
mention,
at the post. Starting gate is
still
rolling
green
now.
and still learning, and could be a factor in here. But I think PC's Cruiser, Mike Sweeney's trainee, could dominate the field, because it's just been from the fact it's been in 58, winning 58 at Scioto. But we will soon find out. The 10th from Napoleon in Henry County in Ohio. Got one more to go after this.
Here, off and trotting the first horse away is Flip the Switch. In their second is PC's Cruiser. Moving up third, that is Claire's favorite. Fourth is Don't Take My Keys. The last horse after going off stride is Sierra's Spirit. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over that quarter-mile mark, Dan Vinier has Flipped the Switch on top by 3.5 lengths. Trotting second is PC's Cruiser, driven by Pierce Henry. In their third is Claire's favorite, driven by Skip DeVall. Fourth, race over to that 3/4 mile mark. Racing in their third is Don't Take My Keys. Sierra Spirit is now fourth. Off stride fifth is Claire's favorite. Going to the 3/4 mile mark. Flip the Switch, regains the lead along the rail. Dropping back second on the outside, PC's Cruiser. Don't Take My Keys is third. And right there fourth is Sierra Spirit. 3/4 in 1:34 and 4/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still Flip the Switch with a lead. PC's Cruiser on the outside second, and edging 3 wide now comes Don't Take My Keys. As they race toward home, Flip the Switch goes off stride. It's PC's Cruiser and Don't Take My Keys. PC's Cruiser and Don't Take My Keys. It's gonna be Don't Take My Keys, and here the outcome. PC's Cruiser up for place, Flip the Switch for show.
They're getting you right to the
mile in 2:05.
That's quarter 30 and 1.
What a stretch drive that was, Tom.
Excellent.
That could have been even crazier yet had the two Flip the Switch stayed on stride. They would have been probably 3 wide across the line.
That Flip the Switch was a surprise in that one. Best he's shown is 2-4 and 2, and that was at Oak Harbor with the break. This is the one won his first lifetime start in Paulden, 11 and 4.
In 2020, last year, and came back and debuted this year at Paulding.
But he raced. He's a 3-year-old gelding by Coraggioso, who stands at Cool Inn Farms in Lima, Ohio.
That's right. Good plug there. He leads the way 7/8 of the mile here, so close, and they turned for home. And I don't know, maybe getting in that battle again. They were 3 wide at that point. Maybe just trying to ask too much at that time, or trying to get him to kick into that other gear, and made an unfortunate break on the lead for Flip the Switch. But after that, it was an amazing stretch drive between Don't Take My Keys and John Koneski, and the 3 PC's Cruiser and Pierce Henry. And I can think that's about the second or third time tonight Pierce has been edged out right at the wire as he was just so close to getting him home. And here comes Don't Take My Keys back into the winner's circle.
Down the track into the winner's circle, where only the winners go. Coming in from Pemberville, Ohio, comes number 5, Don't Take My Keys. Owned, trained, and driven to victory by John Koneski III. The blanket for this race is courtesy of Moxie Salon and Spa.
Congratulations, John Koneski III. As he said, this is a colt coming around.
Let's have a hand here for John Koneski and Don't Take My Keys. And to Moxie Salon and Spa, the donors of the blanket.
Yeah, it's really come into form here after that Oak Harbor win, Tom.
That was impressive there. Last half and a minute and a fifth. Last quarter 29. Again, here he is, Johnny's owner, trainer, driver, but it's a very
Mutuals 532 official.
the satisfaction you get to come in, because you're working with him now for 2 years, and him to come around like that, and you say, whatever you're doing right.
Was fourth. Number 2, Flip the Switch, was third. Number 3, PC's Cruiser, was second. Number 4, Claire's Favorite, was fifth. Number 5, Don't Take My Keys, was the winner. Time of the first quarter was 32 1/5. The half was in 1:04. The 3/4 in 1:34 4/5, with a mile in 2:05. From the top, it should read 4:3:2:5:1 on the bottom. The mile in 2:05. In the upcoming race 11, number 1, Big Imagination. The driver will be Joshua Moore. Joshua Moore will drive number 1, Big Imagination. The number 2 horse, Inside Screwball, has been drawn. Number 3, Heaven's Gonna Rock. The driver will be Pierce Henry. Pierce Henry on number 3, Heaven's Gonna Rock. Need a representative of Grelton Elevator, Trekside, after the next race for the trophy presentation.
And here, in race 10, Tom, one note I wanted to make real quick here, and kind of want to get maybe a word from you on. You talk about Don't Take My Keys, a 3-year-old, and seems like he's really starting to come into form here. A winner in 2 of his last 4, and he's been second or better in 3 of his last 4, and he is an Uncle Peter. And most of the trainers I talk to about their Uncle Peter trotters, they say they're really feisty, and it's really hard to get them to mind their manners, but when they do, exceptionally talented horses.
And that Don't Take My Keys looked like a trotter coming around the wire. Now, he also, for you people who like to just take a little wager, he paid $12.60 to win. Exacta was only $11, Quinella $4.80, but that trifecta with that 2, I think there was only 1 ticket on that, probably. 532, $130.40.
Wow!
And if you have that for your trip as you're heading home, you're kind of happy, and you had a good day at the races.
Hopefully you're coming out ahead after that. if you're not coming out ahead after that trifecta, there might be some bigger problems.
Right, you got to back off.
Hopefully you're leaving with 132 or more after today. But again, just a great on-track crowd here, and hopefully filling up the betting window each and every race.
That's it. And with that, we shall return after a few choice messages. This is the 11th. This is the finale of tonight's racing from Henry County in Napoleon, Ohio. This weird thing's going on. I have no idea. So we shall return, Don Holden from Trot and Pace Marketing, after these few words from our sponsor.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm with 500 acres of pasture for breeding to boarding and on-site veterinarian care, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Visit us September 17th at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds and get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Pet Rock, and Long Tom. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigDWeb.com. Most orders ship that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
And we're back here in Napoleon for the Henry County Fair. Again, I'm Austin Scott. Beside me, Tom Pye, the harness guy, Don Holden, and the Trot and Pace marketing crew, helping us bring you this one on the OHHA YouTube page here today. So, again, if you are joining us late, we have been announcing throughout this races 1 through 4. We were not able to bring you live, but don't worry, we still have you covered. If you go to the Trot and Pace Racing website, you can watch replays from race number 1 through 4 today here at Napoleon, and their website is trotandpaceracing.com. Again, that's trotandpaceracing.com. paceracing.com. And here in the next coming days, you'll be able to watch replays of races 1 through 4 here from Napoleon. And again, you can watch replays for races all the way back through 2017. Or if there's a particular horse you want to watch, just go on there, and at the top search bar, when you get to the racing page, you can search for your horse in there and watch replays and see the lines from some of their past performances. And here we go, the post parade for today's finale.
This is our parading post parade for race 11. This is your getaway race for this evening's program. This is the second division of a pace for 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. Also eligible non-winners at $2,500 lifetime, and also eligible maidens, going for a purse of $600 and a blanket courtesy of Grelton Elevator. Number 1 is Big Imagination, owned by Dan Richard of Tecumseh, Michigan, trained by Trish Shepard, the driver Joshua Moore. Number 2, Inside Screwball, has been drawn. Number 3 is Heaven's Gonna Rock, owned by Tony Langhan of Hillsdale, Michigan, and John Dieters of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, trained by Tony Langhan, the driver Pierce Henry. Number 4 is Piara, owned by John Trigliato of Temperance, Michigan, trained by Ray Farmer, the driver Greg Bateson. Number 5 is Little Deuce Coupe, owned and trained by Jim Monix of Wasion, the driver Don Harmon. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate. This is your final chance to wager this evening. Hurry and don't be shut out. There's Win, Place, Exacta, and Trifecta Wagering.
If anyone sold bought tickets.
And Tom, there's our 5-horse field that has been scratched down to 4 in here. The 2 Inside Screwball for Ty Bates has been scratched here today. So 1, 3, 4, and 5 on the gate, and 3, 4, 5 do slide in a spot with the scratch of Inside Screwball.
Now they have, these are all maidens here. This is Little Deuce Coupe for his first qualifier, this 5-horse. Jim Mullenix owned and trained. 2 minutes and 2/5 at Fuja Park from last quarter, 29 and 3. Very first time on a racetrack. That is impressive. And number 4, Greg Bateson driving, Ray Farmer trained. Payara, Northfield, a qualifier in 57 and 3. Last quarter, 30 seconds flat. Finished second. Again, they're all maidens. The Inside Screwball scratched, but this is the first race for Big Imagination, the 1, I should say. The Heaven's Gonna Rock, Pierce Henry. This is 4 starts. This is his 5th lifetime start. He shows 2, 5, and 2 as his best. Payara is his. He might be poised for the win. Poised for the pictures, I like to say, because this is his second start this year. He already has a second, and that was in 57 and 3. Greg Bateson in the sulky, the native of Van Wert, raised right there in the fairgrounds of Van Wert, and he, as he proudly says, right at that barn over there. And he does well over the Hoosian. The Little Deuce Coupe, I think it's between the 4 and the 5. And so doesn't the betting public.
Yep, remains to be seen. So I think May have pointed out we have 7 lifetime starts between the 4 starters that are in this one. So again, a green field, and who knows what to expect in this race.
Of course, Jim Mullenix, he might have another watcher in the wings. Might have another good little, this is a 3-year-old filly, rock and roll dance filly, out of a Yankee Cruiser mare. Tonight's a cruise.
Little Deuce Coupe.
The Beach Boys. You got another one here. What do we got here? We have notices coming up left and right.
That's a good note, and we'll keep that here. But we had a note from a fan here, but I don't think we can mention it on the broadcast. So we'll leave that here. But again, a nice job by Matt Richardson, and again keeping the crowd entertained in between races. And we'll turn it over to Bill Peters
with Little Deuce Coupe on the outside.
Ready for this? Jeez, my little scoop.
You're going after the 4 here, you said, Tom, for fun, of course. Payera for Greg Bateson.
Yeah, I like that. And the crowd loves it too. What do you do here?
I'll say 3. Heaven's Gonna Rock for fun. My buddy Pierce Henry up. Let's see if Pierce can score him another win here on the card to end things out.
They are both going off at 2-1 currently. The Little Deuce Coupe is 7-5. Long shot is the 1 with 5-1. Big Imagination. This is a finale from Napoleon, Ohio at the Henry County Fair.
There they come.
We'll be back tomorrow, though. 11 more races. You're off.
They're off and pacing. That's Heaven's Gonna Rock going out after the lead, along with Little Deuce Coupe. In their third, that's Payara. The last horse off stride is Big Imagination. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that quarter-mile mark, Pierce Henry has Heaven's Gonna Rock on top, but edging up on the outside second now is Little Deuce Coupe, driven by Don Harmon. Racing in their third is Payara, driven by Greg Bateson, and the last horse is Big Imagination, driven by Joshua Moore. Going to the quarter-mile mark, now that's Little Deuce Coupe by 2 lengths over Heaven's Gonna Rock. First quarter paced in 32 3/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stands for the first time, that is still Little Deuce Coupe with the lead. 2 lengths back second, that's Heaven's Gonna Rock. Right there third is Payara, and the last horse, Big Imagination. No change as they race down to the half. That's Don Harmon and Little Deuce Coupe bringing the horses down to the half. Sitting there in the golden chair second, that's Heaven's Gonna Rock. Right there third is Payara, and trailing is a Big Imagination. First half paced in 1:04. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. Now Greg Bateson edges Payara up on the outside. That's still Little Deuce Coupe with the lead, but Payara's now second on the outside along the rail third. That's Heaven's Gonna Rock. And further back fourth comes Big Imagination. Front 3 are pretty well bunched as they go to the 3/4 mile mark. That's Little Deuce Coupe with the lead. Payara on the outside second along the rail third. That's Heaven's Gonna Rock. 3/4 and 135 and 1/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still Little Deuce Coupe with the lead. But edging up a little closer on the outside comes Payara. And looking for racing room third is Heaven's Gonna Rock. As they race toward home, that's still Little Deuce Coupe with Payara on the outside. Little Deuce Coupe with the rail. Payara on the outside. Little Deuce Coupe and Payara. Little Deuce Coupe and Payara. It's Little Deuce Coupe. Payara up for place. And the third horse is Heaven's Gonna Rock. 1 mile in 2:06.
Mr. Mullinex has another nice little filly there by a rock and roll dance. Last half and 2, last quarter 30 and 4. Looks like 5-4-3. Not for me. 5 was 2-1. The 4 was 3-5. The 3, 9-2. That's a good mile. Little Deuce Coupe.
That is. Establishes that lifetime mark of 2:06 in her first career start. Makes it a winning one for Jim Mullinex. And driver Don Harmon adds another win here on the program, and that gives Don a driving triple. And we'll go through all of the trainer and driver win stats here when we get done with the winner's circle festivities here on the
Mutuals,
11th and final race at Napoleon. Second went to the 4 Payara and Greg Bateson by about a length it looked like, and then trying to sneak up the rail and try to find some room was the 3 Heaven's Gonna Rock and Pierce Henry, and just couldn't find any daylight down there, but was loaded with pace, just nowhere to go. And looks like Heaven's Gonna Rock came home third, and then rounding out the 4-horse field was Big Imagination.
It was a Pierce Henry who was just locked in with no place to go. Place Little Deuce Coupe had to go is to the winner's circle.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, where the winners go. Coming in from Wauseon, Ohio, comes number 5, Little Deuce Coupe. Owned and trained by Jim Mullenix and driven to victory this evening by Dapper Donnie Harmon. Been a few years since you've heard that, hasn't it, Don? The blanket for this race is courtesy of the Grelton Elevator.
Happy winner's circle in there for Dapper Donnie Harmon. Jim Mullenix crew.
Let's really hear it here for Jim the Mullenix's Don Harmon and Little Deuce Coupe and the Grelton Elevator, the donors of the blanket.
Blanket all tangled up. There we go. There you go, Mum. We go back to the barn. A nice.
There are the official placings for race 11 from the top. Imagination was 4th. Number 2, Inside Screwball had been drawn. Number 3, Heaven's Gonna Rock was 3rd. Number 4, Piaro was 2nd. Number 5, Little Deuce Coupe was the winner. Time of the first quarter was 32 3/5. The half was in 104. 3/4 in 135 1/5, with a mile in 2:06. From the top it should read 4 scratch 3 2 1 on the bottom, the mile in 2:06. Well, that concludes our racing for this evening. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out to enjoy the races this evening, and I hope you'll all be back tomorrow evening where we'll have another exciting 11 races.
And before we sign off here from the Henry County Fairgrounds in Napoleon, we'll take a look at some of the statistics from today. And it's not quite coming from Susie Stats, Tom, but
Jensen Horseman,
you'll have to settle for Scott Stats, I guess.
Scott Stats now.
So today, leading drivers on the program, B.J. Roberts and Don Harmon shared a driving triple here. And again, B.J. Roberts doing that in just 3 horses that he had entered, and all of them picking up victories by the 5th race today. So they made quick work before heading out of the grounds. But again, B.J. Roberts, Don Harmon with a triple. The only other driver with multiple wins was Kim Pluta. He had a pair. And then rounding out the field with a win apiece was Pierce Henry, Charles Taylor, and John Kineski III. Looking over on the training side, Chris Beaver added 3 more wins to his summer fair total here, all with B.J. Roberts at the controls. And again, they had a triple in just 3 races they entered and had that by the 5th race of the card tonight. All other trainers sharing 1 win apiece were Krista Harmon, Mike Sweeney, Steve Novak, Marvin Kraft, Kim Pluta, Charles Taylor, John Kineski III, and Jim Mullenix, rounding out the winners on the training side of things. So, Tom, exciting card here today, as well as a great crowd, as we pointed out many a times, that stuck around all the way to the end. And it's Matt Richardson right now performing an encore for this crowd that's still sticking around for him. So, again, just goes to show some entertainment between the races can really go a long way here.
Absolutely.
So really exciting. And again, if you did join us late, we did mention races 1 through 4 we were not able to go live for here on the OHHA YouTube page. The internet connection here on the grounds at the Henry County Fair was down at that time. Able to get things corrected, and we brought you races 5 through 11 live on YouTube. So if you want to watch races 1 through 4, they will be available on replay at trotandpaceracing.com. Again, that's trotandpaceracing.com. They'll be uploaded in the coming days. You can go back and watch those first 4 races from today, as well as all the races that Trot and Pace has filmed on the Ohio and Michigan Fair circuit this season, as well as races all the way back to 2017. So make sure you guys tune back in tomorrow. Tom Pye, the harness guy, and I will be teamed up again with Trot and Pace Marketing to bring you tomorrow's 11 race card with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference back here at Napoleon. Same first post time, 5 p.m., and we'll try to bring you all of those live here on the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association Broadcast Network. Stay tuned to our Facebook page and our new website, harnessracingohio.com, on how you can watch our broadcast as well as get free program pages. So one final time from Napoleon, I'm Austin Scott. He's Tom Pye, the harness guy in Trot and Pace Marketing. We wish you a great rest of your night. Come join us again tomorrow night, 5 p.m.
Good night.
This has been Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is brought to you by thestable.ca, the Ohio State University Veterinary Medical Center, Midland Acres, Cool Winds Farm, and Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Ohio County Fair Racing is a presentation of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.